Thank you, Madam Speaker. To the bill?
To the bill.
Colleagues, we have heard loud and clear that an investment package of this size must be targeted, it must be transparent, and it must be accountable. That was one of the guiding principles of both the full Joint Committee on Student Success and the Subcommittee on Transparency and Accountability that I co-chaired this session. Our subcommittee was charged with ensuring that this significant new investment be spent in a way that is transparent to the public and where districts and schools are accountable for improving the outcomes of their students. In crafting the Student Success Act, we consulted with education advocates, state auditors, data analysts, experts from other states and from districts in Oregon with best practices in transparency and accountability, and many others. I'm proud to say that we've arrived in a place where strong accountability is clearly embedded in the Student Success Act. Districts applying for grants from the Student Investment Account must commit to meeting specific performance targets related to improving outcomes and reducing disparities in 4 categories: on-time graduation rates, 3rd grade reading proficiency, the rate of 9th grade students on track to graduate, and student attendance rates. They must also disaggregate this data by different types of student groups that have been historically underserved, which is critical to identifying opportunity gaps and delivering on the equity components of this bill. The bill also lays out a clear approach for what happens when school districts underperform. The districts that fall short on these targets will receive additional support from the Oregon Department of Education. The department will select a team of highly qualified experts to provide support and coaching to these districts. The lowest performing districts will have access to a more intensive support program with additional funding and student success teams. These student success teams will be made up of individuals with extensive expertise in education and school improvement, and will work with school districts to ensure that investments are being properly allocated towards effective strategies to improve outcomes. And finally, financial and performance audits are a key component of the Student Success Act. School districts that apply for grant funding must conduct a financial audit of the use of the grant monies and must review their progress towards meeting the performance targets they committed to. Districts must make these audits publicly available and must provide reports to their local school boards in open meetings. The Oregon Department of Education will also compile district progress into an annual report that will be presented to the legislature. These accountability provisions will ensure that the investments in the Student Success Act are doing what they should, improving our education system for Oregon students. Colleagues, I've been proud to be a member of the Joint Committee on Student Success, which has worked so hard to get this policy right over the last 16 months. It was 16 months of school visits and roundtables with students and educators and administrators and business leaders, and many, many, many hours of public testimony. During all of that time, I thought about what it would be like to take this vote today, to finally make this game-changing investment in our education system and our students in Oregon. Every teacher we talked to whose classes were too large and who was disheartened that they couldn't give their students the attention they had deserved. Every superintendent or board member that has agonized over making impossible budget cuts. And every parent whose child didn't get access to mental health services in time. Every time we heard these difficult stories, I thought, we are going to fix this. We are going to fix this. I pictured taking this vote today and what it would mean to everyone that we spoke with and what it would mean to current generations of Oregon students and future generations. Thank you, colleagues. I urge your aye vote.
Thank you, Representative. Further discussion?